Greetings everyone, Zannrath here, and welcome back to more Everlasting Summer, where last time we left off on the middle of the road. And I guess, I don't know, everything was out in the open. We said I loved you, she said she loved us, or wait, hold on, no, that she needed us, and that we needed her. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see where that goes. She was all that I need, now, and forever. And the bus. This kiss might have lasted forever, but suddenly a horn sounded nearby, as if from inside my brain. I turned to the road and saw a bus. An old lithium Arizona. I don't know. LI is lithium and AZ is Arizona, right? So that's what it is. It looked like a regular one. We just lay and looked at it for some time. Soon, driver left the bus and shouted at us, "Hey, lovebirds." Oh, it's just random voice again. That's cool. He's the bear. "Hey, lovebirds, this is the last bus to town. Are you coming?" Hold on, let me put out this fire real quick. Shall we go and leave the fire? Of course, because, you know, we don't care about forest fires. Prairie fires, I guess. Alisa said merrily. We jumped up. I grabbed the backpack, took Alisa by the hand, and ran to the bus. In a couple of seconds, we made ourselves comfortable on the back seat. The driver was shouting something from his place, but I didn't listen to him. Here it is, a rescue ship, heading for a new life. And like whatever the guy is randomly screaming is going to be like, "We're going to like Siberia or something. You guys are going to join a forced labor camp. Is that okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's whatever." Do they still do that in Siberia? They might. I don't know. I looked at Alisa. I was so eager to say something to continue the conversation by the fire. She was sleeping peacefully, resting her head on my shoulder. I didn't wake her up. There was no need. We had so much time ahead of us. There was no one in the bus except us. The bus was going fast, leaving behind not only my previous life, but also the week I'd spent in the pioneer camp called Sovionok. I went through more during these 7 days than I had in all the years of my real life. And now, how much was still lying ahead in the future? The common country scenery in the window didn't interest me much. I was just watching Alisa peacefully sleeping. My heart was filled with warmth and calmness, and my head finally stopped bursting with thoughts. But happiness is a fragile matter. Many things can destroy it. Time, for example. The longer your happiness lasts, the more common it becomes. Emotions dull, new problems and worries appear. Oh man, Semyon, are you telling us you're already sick of her? It hasn't even been like an hour, or maybe it has, I don't know, but it's definitely not. It hasn't even been a day. I felt good, but the accumulated exhaustion didn't let me enjoy the moment. I fell asleep, and I wake up in my flat. And It seems I'm getting old. The day was over and the hangover should have been long gone, but I still feel sick and dizzy. Despite how, wait, he was at a party, right? So maybe when he got drunk and I slept with a girl, it was actually like someone from the whatever reunion he was going to. Was it a high school reunion? It was a high school reunion, right? Or something like that. And then, yeah. And then now we wake up in our flat and it's like, oh man. Despite how hard I tried, I was unable to open my eyes. I just rolled over. I wonder what awaits me in the district center. How am I to live? Maybe it's not all that bad. Well, sure, I don't know where to begin, but on the other hand, this world doesn't seem hostile. I know a lot of things here. Everyone speaks Russian. So maybe nothing bad is going to happen. I suddenly felt very sick. Damn it, I thought it was all gone by yesterday evening. Yep, I managed to reach the toilet, moving instinctively. After some time, when my dirty business was done, I returned to the room, and then I realized I'm back in my old flat. Oh man, who would have thought? However, it's not so old. It seems that nothing had changed during the week of my absence. The dust layers haven't even grown thicker. The keyboard position, monitor incline, and the stain from a cup of tea on the table stung my eyes. Theoretically, a man in my condition couldn't or shouldn't notice such details, but the entire room drew my attention to the most minor of details, as if it was twinkling with different colors. The socks were thrown around in the exact same manner as they had been before. I'm surprised you could remember where your socks were a week ago. I guess technically it's only been like a night, right? In this reality. The blanket sat rumpled on the unmade bed as it was before. The dirty windows showed the same view of the street like a cracked kinetoscope. In vain, I tried to become terrified or at least scared. Maybe it's shock effect, post-traumatic stress disorder, or something like that. After all, several hours ago, I wasn't even thinking of returning to the real world. The pioneer camp, the girls, Alisa, the mythical district center where I would have arrived if I had woken up in my flats, all that had started to seem real to me. Maybe my fantastic vacation to Sovionok was just a dream. My feet started to rack up circles around the room. I held my hands behind my back and started to think everything over. Only one thing is clear. I've returned as suddenly as I arrived there, without any reason or logic. Maybe there was some sort of explanation, but it's beyond my or human comprehension. Whether it was a trick by interstellar forces or a supreme mind or government experiment, I believe the last one to be the least likely. They left no clues. If I was unable to find answers in the camp, it would have been foolish to expect things to become clearer here. It's like searching for evidence in a house that's been burned to ashes. Even if a crime was committed, all the evidence was destroyed by fire. Maybe if I had the skills and equipment of a criminologist, I could find something, but the memories of the week spent in the camp are all I've got. But it wasn't a dream. I knew it for sure. My hangover was absolutely real. My feelings and emotions were genuine, not just the stuff of dreams. Therefore, I've been there. I've spent a week in the Sovionok pioneer camp with the camp leader and the pioneers, with Alisa. Memories of her made me sigh. It would have been great to leave with her. Wait a minute. What's wrong with me? I should be glad I returned home to the real world. Or shouldn't I? For now, I just couldn't evaluate the situation reasonably. I couldn't understand whether I wanted to stay there or to enjoy my long-awaited return. I noticed the 5 ruble coin on the table. I took it and began to toss it up without any purpose, counting the number of heads and tails. A long time ago, maybe even in school, I heard that an infinite number of coin tosses, the probabilities are not equal to 50% each. Maybe it's because the coin doesn't have a perfect shape and weight, or because of some other reason. However, after some time I counted 70 heads and 71 tails. So, the theory of relativity lies. That's not really a relativity, but sure. But I'm not a man to judge it. Of course you're not. You don't even know what it is. I don't know much about it. I recalled my childhood when I had heard the word tails for the first time. For some reason, it always made me think of squirrels. Maybe there is some logic in this. A squirrel does indeed have a tail. Oh man. Illuminati confirmed. Now this theory seems strange to me, but at the same time, I couldn't find any conclusive evidences to disprove it. So does it mean that squirrels come out more frequently than heads? Squirrels also have heads, so wow, mind blown right there. But one must consider that a squirrel has a head as well, so, of course. I yanked on my hair and sighed, exhausted. Now is not the time to think of such rubbish. On the other hand, what is now the right time for? What can I do? What is under my control? If I hadn't bothered trying to find answers during the week there, what would be the point of thinking now? Maybe I should just try to go back to my ordinary life. The words ordinary life were painful to me. Why did I choose that specific word? I could have said past, formal, or something else. I guess because it was what I was used to. That's the most obvious answer. As they say, what you get used to becomes second nature to you. Instantly, all of last week's events floated before my eyes. Did I really want to stay there so badly? Was just 1 week enough for me to get used to Olga Dmitryevna picking on me all the time, Olyana's pranks or joking around, or Alisa's cheekiness and mockery? I had no answers, or I had no answer to this question, but it's obvious that I already missed it. Alright, I'm sure I'll never return there. Obviously, I can't tell whether the force that brought me there might want to entertain itself again. And again, and again. It is possible. But for now, I have what I have, an adventure that I'll remember for the rest of my life. That maybe you'll write down and turn into a book. Wait, just kidding, that was last time. Haha. Damn it, how many people get to experience something like that? Even books, even dreams about such things are unthinkable. Oh man. Were we supposed to do like Alisa's route before we do Lena's route? Is that what this thing is telling me? The chronology is off now. The main thing is that it wasn't Dr. Moreau's evil island, but a normal Soviet pioneer camp with normal pioneers. And its commonness was overlaid by the astonishing origin of my arrival there. Anyway, it wasn't the worst experience of my life. Perhaps it was one of the best. Obviously, it's sad that everything just ended halfway through, but every story has its end, or has an end. It's good that it ended that way. Who knows what else could have happened. Time passed. The events that took place in the camp now seemed more like a fascinating novel I once read. No, I haven't forgotten them. I could recall them in the finest detail. I remember how, as a child, I used to lie under a blanket with a flashlight and read a fascinating book about spaceflight until dawn. Sometimes I was unable to get up to go to school. My parents always used to scold me for that, but with every night approaching, I would carefully turn every page, trying to absorb every minor detail of the story. I had similar feelings about that pioneer camp reality, if I can consider it such. Now seemed more like a book. I didn't think it was bad at all. In the end, the main thing is to remember, and it is not important whether these memories take the form of a slideshow, photos, video, or audio. Now each bus made me feel both fear and hope. At first, I circled around the 410 route without purpose. Several times, I fell asleep on the same seat. But nothing happened, not even a trace of something supernatural. As times went by, I'm pretty sure it's just one time. As time went by, I stopped these idle trips. Surprised you have that much time just to like randomly take the bus and fall asleep on it. I mean, I guess it really shows that he wants to go back, that he wants what happened to be real. Something changed in my life. It couldn't do otherwise. It just couldn't do otherwise. A couple of weeks after my return from the camp, I took up my guitar and was lying lonely and gathering dust in a corner. Striking a couple of chords, I remember Alisa, and somehow you also remember how to play guitar. For me, her image was inseparable from this instrument. What about Miku? At first, it didn't work out very well. Maybe I just had no talent for music. I started reading teach-yourself books and watching video lessons. On the other hand, all the effort wasn't a burden anymore. I just played the chords and polished my skill. And, as with any kind of activity, including music, practice makes perfect. After half a year later, I realized that I achieved some results. At least I could now smoothly play parts of my favorite songs. Satisfied with my progress, I put a couple of advertisements on music forums intending to form my own band. So you can play a couple chords from your favorite songs and now you want to start a band. I still had no idea what kind of music I wanted to play. My tastes vary from something really heavy to anime soundtracks, of course. Or you can do like heavy anime, like, I don't know, Death Note, right? That was like metal, and it was anime, right? The opening. At first, it seemed impossible for me. I would have to communicate with strangers, and what if we are just too different? And anyway, how do I explain to others what music I want to make? Oh man, and Alyssa's gonna randomly like post on this music forum or whatever, this advertisement. I guess they don't have Craigslist in Russia. But yeah, and then Alyssa's gonna be like, "Sup, I play guitar." And it'd be like, "Weird, I play guitar. We can't have two guitarists in a band." That's absurd, right? Clearly. But it all worked out much easier. The potential candidates turned out to be not so frightening and our tastes were mostly the same. After all, we shared the same goals, so issues stemming from lack of understanding could be resolved. And soon we had a band. Suddenly, I discovered my talent as a composer. Having spent entire days and nights on the note editor and sequencers, I started composing okayish things, at least in the opinion of the other band members and pals I showed my songs to. So, Semyon went from, like, do nothing, stay at home, browse internet forums kind of guy to, in one case, he worked in a bank in Lena's story, right? And then he eventually ended up being an author, and now he's going to be a composer. And I don't know if he's going to be a producer or not, but at least a composer. So, man, the Semyon guy's got wide range of talents, evidently. Just, depending on the events in his life, obviously his life led to different stories and different endings. That says something about people, right? It's like it depends on the things that happen to you in life that lead you down the path of wherever you're gonna go, right? So maybe you can be an author, maybe you can be a musician, maybe you can be, I don't know, a physicist, but he's gonna need a lot of work because, his physics is kind of shaky. Quite soon, we gave our first concert. I didn't know you gave concerts. Pretty sure you perform concerts, but that's nice too. Oh man, what'd you get for me for my birthday? A concert! A D-list club, not significantly more spacious than my bedroom. 3.5 viewers. Hey, you're doing better than me though. Ha! You have half a viewer. It's like, just the top half. Like, no legs, just torso and up. Or maybe like just the left side. Who weren't exactly sober. I was hellishly anxious, and the sound equipment was constantly malfunctioning. But all of that didn't bother me because I was happy, since this was just the first step to success. However, it was a long time before we were invited again. With great difficulty, we managed to record 3 tracks and publish them on the internet. The reviews were far from ecstatic, but it didn't bother me much. It was just the beginning. Maybe some consider our music just a leisure activity or a brief fixation, but for me it was serious. After all, it was me who founded the band and all the music was mine as well. I felt a personal responsibility for the fate of my creation. Every spare moment I spent on improving my performance technique, and after a year I could already confidently say that I wasn't the worst guitarist in the world. That's good, man. Then some sort of popularity came. We were giving concerts, of course, you always give concerts. Giving concerts almost every week, and we're finally getting paid. It wasn't important that it was just 500 rubles per man. I don't know what's the conversion, but if it's close to 1-to-1-ish in terms of US, like that's not too bad for like, I don't know, a couple hours of work, right? Obviously, there's like all the prep and stuff that goes into it, but still, I guess 500 rubles per week. I don't know, is that good or not? Is that good or bad? But the fact that our work was in demand and someone was ready to pay for it, even though we were usually a warm-up for other bands, was what mattered. I was sitting before my monitor, torturing a guitar. The date of an upcoming concert was thickly circled on the computer desktop calendar. I didn't know you had apps that could let you draw on your calendars on the computer. That's pretty cool. I mean, why not, right? The very thought of that gave me goosebumps. It will be the first time we will be headliners. Oh, nice. Yeah, what's your band called, Semyon? Kind of sad they didn't actually come up with a band name to give, It's called Semyon and the Sovionok Pioneers. That'd be actually kind of funny. And we'll have an album presentation as well. I wonder how many discs would be sold. Of course, the CD era is over, but there are still some who appreciate it. Actually, I just heard a story on the radio that vinyl is actually coming back as a medium for music. More as a, I guess, kind of like a, I don't know, what would you call it, like a throwback in a sense to, when music used to be, produced, I guess, I don't know, on vinyls. But really as just more of a physical manifestation, right? So, anyways. And maybe some will buy it just to support the band. I looked at the date once more. Oh man, is Alisa gonna be at the concert? Oh man, that'd be pretty cool. Yes, it's exactly a year since I returned from Sovionok. my smile reflected in the darkened monitor screen. I wonder whether Alisa would like my music if she existed in this world. Don't think so. She preferred Soviet rock classics, but who knows? I played a couple of complicated guitar parts and concluded with a feeling of satisfaction that the sound of my guitar surpassed by far that of the Soviet Ural guitars, and my skill has overcome that of the guitarists of the same era. I wonder whether I would have achieved all this without those fantastic events. Unlikely. Nothing strange about it. Lots of people rethink their life. After stepping close to the edge. Sure, nothing dangerous happened back then, but a psychological shock is a good substitute for a grave danger. I rehearsed my part once more, put the guitar into a case, packed all my stuff, and headed to the exit. It was cold outside, just like that day. Slowly I approached the bus stop for the 410. Where does the 410 go? It seems like it goes everywhere, right? Like literally, it goes everywhere. And literally, it goes into another dimension. Such a coincidence. I am going to the club on this very same bus. With a sinking heart, I counted down the seconds. Soon the bus arrived. It idly opened its doors and swallowed up a few passengers. It was a winter night just like back then. Cars flashed by outside with their headlights igniting the city as it got ready to sleep. The closer, I really think we're going to run into Alisa, and it's going to be like a brief passing. We'll be like, wait, is that really her? And then, end story. The closer we got to the downtown area, the more people there were in the streets. Some of them were chatting merrily, some were perusing magnificent boutique windows, and some were hurrying somewhere, paying no attention to anything. This day I had no wish to return to that camp. This day I had no... Oh, I already read that. I don't know why. Any other time maybe, but not today. I must play the concert, and the rest can go to hell. I had a clear aim and nothing else mattered. Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, uh-oh, is that just really the end? Because it kind of halted for a little bit before moving on. But the club was considerably bigger than the one we played our first concert in. I'm surprised you said played now instead of like gave our first concert in. But at the moment, it was empty. The sound check was going on. I couldn't hear the drums through the monitor's loudspeakers, which I desperately tried to tell the sound guy about. Sound tuned, gadgets installed, set lists are prepared, ready to rock. But it is a special day. We're not doing the warm-up. The other guys are doing the warm-up before our concert. Thus, our entrance is last. As I listened to the first band, I noted that they have a lot of improving to do. On the other hand, we were no better not so long ago. As the time got closer to the start of our performance, my tension grew enormous. Come on, I was literally shaking with anxiety. I decided not to listen to the other band and to wait calmly in the dressing room. Judging by their expressions, my mates were in the same mood. We were silent. Actually, we had nothing to talk about. And then Alisa, as a groupie, is going to come and you're going to like sign her boobs because that's what rock stars do, right? Our parts were learned and perfected a long time ago. Only nervousness could hinder us, but we already had some experience, so everything will be fine. Actually, come to think about it, he said it was only a year, right? So, since forming a band and getting your first headlining concert, like, that's not too bad, right? A year? Seems pretty good, considering bands are probably like small businesses, and like 90% of them fail within the first 2 years, right? Or something like that. At least I comforted myself with this thought. Solid. I like how these two dudes look the same. Which one's the bassist? This is clearly the guitarist, right? Because he's like I don't know. And the bassists usually do like this T-Rex arm kind of thing, so I'm gonna say that guy's the bassist. And now finally the time has come. I don't remember how we entered the stage and greeted the audience. My consciousness turned on when the first chords of our first song came from the speakers. While sitting in the makeup room, I'd desperately tried to warm up my ice-cold fingers, but now they ran from string to string without the slightest mistake, and they were as if they were charmed. A thought flashed across my mind: why didn't I still make a single mistake? When I played all these parts at home during rehearsals, I never thought about it. Everything seemed a matter of course. But now, when I stood in front of an audience, it felt different. Somewhere deep in my mind, there was a thought that soon my finger would slip and, thank goodness, the thinking didn't interfere with my playing. Our performance was nearing the end, and now it was the time for the difficult solo I'd been learning for so long. So he's the lead guitarist and the lead vocalist. That's quite a lot of responsibility. By that point, my nervousness had vanished, and I played through it perfectly, even better than during the rehearsals. Finally, our performance was over, and the concert hall burst with applause. I smiled awkwardly, at least I thought so, and bowed several times with the rest of the band. They shouted "Encore!" to us. Even without them shouting, I would have been glad to play something else, but we ran out of songs as we were just a newly formed band. It's okay, that's why they asked for an encore, not a new song, right? And Alisa. Euphoria prevailed in the dressing room, and we congratulated and hugged each other. The sounds of opening champagne bottles echoed in the halls. All our discs had been sold, which made me even happier. Finally, I managed to become something too. It's impossible to predict the future of our band, or of the whole affair with music. But one thing was clear. I have finally found something I am interested in, and I can dedicate my entire life to. As well as that, I can see that that it may be able to make other people, or to make people other than me happy too. I was probably now the happiest man on the earth. At least, it was surely the best moment of my life. Even better than that time with Alisa. You know what I mean. The club was empty, instruments are packed, and I'm waiting for the others so we can go home. Of course, I knew it. Hey! I turned around and saw a girl standing nearby. Her tone wasn't too polite, but it wasn't hostile either. I liked your performance. Thanks. The darkness of the club prevented me from seeing her face, or clearly seeing her face. But I was sure that it was extremely familiar to me. And you... I stepped forward. Exactly. It was Alisa. I froze on the spot, unable to speak. Remember that, Alisa? Yeah, let's do it. What about me? Nothing. I just thought I'd seen you somewhere. I decided not to jump at her with questions about a pioneer camp. Unlike with Slavia, right? After all, it's possible that this girl merely looks like her. Or something like that. Anyway, it was obvious that she was seeing me for the first time. Or at least was pretending to. Dude, she just wants your D, because you're like the lead singer and the lead guitarist. So it's like double D. Or double, I don't know, never mind. Well, generally it's true. She peered. My name is Semyon. Forcing an artificial smile, I offered her my hand. I actually know that. And she'd be like, what? And it's like, oh, because I'm in a band. Okay. How? Read it on the internet. Yes, of course. And you are Alisa, she replied, somewhat confusedly. So I was right. But how right was I? Listen, did you ever go to a pioneer camp as a child? No. Why are you asking? It just seemed that I'd met you there. How could you have met me there if I've never been there? You should ask if she has a friend named Lena. That wouldn't be creepy at all. She laughed. Yes, all you musicians are somehow strange, no doubt. The band? Just kidding. Well, I just wanted to say that your music is not too bad. Alisa turned to leave. I felt that I needed to say something. Or to do something. Say something. Will you come to our next concert? When? To be honest, I had no idea myself. Well, you can just tell her that you're giving a private concert in your flat. Wink. Wink. Soon? Yes, maybe. Send me a message. Yeah, sure. We share our contact details with each other. Then I'll see you again, probably. She waved her hand and went out. Obviously, I had no idea if she was the very same Alisa I met in the camp. Any number of theories were nullified by an absolute absence of facts. But at that moment, it was the last thing that concerned me, as I was filled with emotions, both from the concert and meeting Alisa. After all, nothing's preventing me from calling her, and then we'll see. I smiled, shouldered my guitar, and started walking to the 410 bus stop with my mates. Credit time? Or after you say something about, every story has a climax, whatever. Pick up Guru. Yeah, rank 1 guitar. Alisa. Oh, that was the good end. Huh, I guess I messed that one up. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents. Yeah. Wait, I messed that up then. Huh. Okay, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I only did 8, and that should have triggered the bad end, but... Huh. I guess I maybe have to go and, I might have to completely restart a new file then, given how this worked out. Because I think the last thing I saved, the other file that I saved, it has, up until 8, or what I thought was the 8th point put into it, but... Huh. Well, ain't that a doozy? At least based on this guide, it says I should have 8 points. Unless I accidentally clicked something that I thought or what am I saying? Unless I clicked on something that I thought I clicked on the right one, but I actually clicked on the wrong one. So, I guess I'll have to go back and maybe check out what I did, because I'm not sure. I mean, it should be very easy to get the bad ending, considering all you have to do is... Actually, no, hold on, you just only get 6, so... I guess we'll do that next time. I'll have to go and, like, start a new file. I have to start a new file and just get 6 points, I suppose. Which shouldn't be too bad, because, you know, we've seen more or less everything, so... It's going to be a little bit of lost time in the beginning, but otherwise... Yeah, like I said, not too bad. But, let's see, what do we learn here? I don't know, nothing like... In terms of the overall story, I don't think we've learned too much. Did we really learn anything or that much about Alisa through this good ending? I don't think so, other than the fact that she is, you know, I guess, how does Semyon describe it? Tender? You know, that this is kind of like a facade, and that she's, like, well, I guess she always gets the blame for everything, and everyone's all like, oh my god, Lena's so, like, sweet and adorable, and, like, innocent, and whatever, and you're just, like, the problem child, Alisa, and then that's why so I guess it kind of perpetuated her behavior, because she's like, well, if everyone thinks that I'm a hooligan, then, or, you know, to blame or whatever, then I'm just gonna, like, do all this bad stuff anyways. So, hey, alright, well, like I said, that is the good ending. That was not what I was trying to go for. I was pretty certain I had the bad ending, but, I guess not. So, yeah, not sure what I did wrong, but I will go ahead and try again for the bad ending next time. Sorry for the out of order, I suppose. It doesn't really make that much difference, but to me it kind of matters. But yeah, next time we'll go for the bad ending, and hopefully we won't mess up, because I was going for it this time and I messed it up, so it's very possible I would do it again. Hopefully not, though. But until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.